Hey, Tox.
Hey, Warped.
Looking bushwhacking. All right, guys. Welcome back to yet another episode of All Rocket Gaming on the wonderful M80 server pack. Man, a lot has gone on. I have been so blessedly busy. I told you guys that in my little channel update. But yeah, it's been nightmarish, and Tox really wanted to get some recording in so we could actually show off some of the work we've done. So there I am, half awake. How's it going, man?
Uh, I haven't been sleeping, so I'm half awake too.
Yay! Man, for last time we got together to do recording, it was you were broken and I was sick, and now we're both half asleep. Let's walk around just eating people's brains and call it good. Um, yeah. So, anyways, talks. Things don't look the same.
Not at all.
I think we've changed things around again.
Yes, we have.
And just for the sake of humor and clarity, guys, this is actually there's actually an iteration between the last time we showed you this and this one here. This was just getting things down to testing some ideas out and just getting things to work properly. Trains really, we've learned, get really fidgety and problematic when they're on bends and being held up because they're kind of springy in their connection.
Yeah.
And it caused a lot of issues. So we went ahead and split everything apart in terms of services. We've got the actual harvest strain right here who's picking up all the wonderful luscious goodness we call oak. We've got the sledge train on the line right here, and then we've got
Power.
um, yes, yes, power. I was like, oh, yeah, power train comes in here, and then finally we've got fertilizer train. We actually have a lot of fertilizer now. We're actually using the industrial fertilizer because thanks to Yankee, we got some sewer grates set up under the sheep farm, and now the sheep are pooping us into all kinds of fertilizer. So I'll probably talk about that in some future episode if I get around to it. Again, when I have time. Talks, how do the trains know which lines to go on to?
Right now we are currently sorting the trains by color. So this train here, what is that, gray, I think? Must be gray. We're
Hmm.
kind of treating that as an item train, so this routing switch motor uh, has a routing table that requests gray trains. Gray locomotives will come in here. The next one here is the sludge train, and that's looking for black locomotives. Primary color black, secondary color black. To come in here, pick up sludge, and then of course we got the white, and that one doesn't have a routing table in because it's right at the very end, but that's where the brown train is going to come in.
And
The
yes, we made the fertilizer train brown.
yes.
Insert yucks here. Yeah, so that's pretty much the big changeover, and the underpinnings of how the system works have not changed. The only massive change we may make is we may actually add another harvester like this one here to the mix just so this thing can harvest a little faster. That's just going to get down to when we finally burn through what Yankee gave us for wood from his deep storage unit. We'll see what the ratios are of how fast we're building up versus burning from the power plant. And we'll find that fine line. I'll be honest with you though, it does take time, as you can see here with this loader. Um, it takes a little time to get the thing filled up. That said, when you've got, as you can see here, uh, a fertilizer train running fertilizer here, this thing just goes endlessly, so it works pretty fast. So, also, sludge has been an asset to us because we've actually been boiling that down. We'll show you that in a few. So, that said, Talks, is there anything else about forestry that's interesting?
Not specifically about forestry.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and jump out real quick and head on back over towards the city.
Here comes the
There's
train.
been a lot of changes
A lot
going
of
on there.
changes.
So we want to show you guys what's been going on. So we're gonna go ahead and maybe follow these little trains out, and then we'll meet you over near Hubtown. So we'll be right back.
Burb.
And welcome back. So we're back here at the intersection. This is the main intersection where Ruark's trains and forestry trains meet up, and you'll see it's quite different now. And there's a good reason for that. We had a catastrophic failure that resulted in a crater and a lot of missing trains. So we decided, for the sake of simplicity and my sanity, that we just go ahead and, since we had this train on two different levels, the tracks were on two different levels, it was just easier to do a bypass rail. And this made things infinitely easier for us because at this point, all we have to worry about is having some simple redstone or rail logic saying if there's anybody, like this little track right here that's merging, if there's anybody on the track behind or the track in front, wait. Very, very simple. And then for the outbound here, whoa, it almost got
Yeah.
hit.
Good thing it's going slow through here.
For the outbound, we've got just a simple routing switch. It looks for uh, currently the moniker of forestry, and it peels those off and heads them on down. Now, this will change a little bit. We are going to be having two more locations added into our train lines. One is the uh, Biasteri that VSD and Argentum have set up, as well as VSD has broken ground on a magic town out south of Forestry. So those will likely be tying into the line going out that way. So, anyways, um, pretty straight and simple. We've also done a little bit of logic in terms of, instead of having trains blow through intersections at top speed and trying to kill each other and ourselves, since we both have gotten run over a few times now, we've started doing limiter tracks to slow them down a little bit. Coming into town, we slow them down.
Yeah, this one's rough right now.
Yeah, slow them down a bit more so that they're actually doing kind of a nominal speed. These trains are
Down
meant
to
to
speed too.
be. This is actually supposed to be kind of a pseudo, like our street, the city street. They're running the trains right straight down, and we've got buildings on multiple sides here. Um, so we wanted to have the trains slow down, do a slower speed, so people are running around. They're not going to get squished, at least down as easily. Another thing you'll notice here is there's a lack of train going out to the power plant.
Yeah.
And that is a big deal because I have other projects I'm doing in the power plant, and there's a little sneak peek for you I'm not going to talk about right now because today's all about toxin trains. So, yeah, look forward to this. This is a big update. All of our train stuff has moved, and it has moved
Two
over
various
to the main
locations.
part of the industrial area. Yeah, so we've got
Ruark's looking for a
our.
train or something over there.
I'm sure a train's going to end up popping up on us real quick here, but Um, a lot of this is temporary, still working things out. But just to give you an idea of what happened is we actually broke things apart. Again, we're doing dedicated trains for certain services. So in this case, we've got power trains that come into the little power station here.
And again, those
We've
white
currently,
trains.
yeah, that's the white ones. And those are currently, there's two of them running. They're just a single train with a bat box cart and a an anchor cart. So those are little zippy guys that run back and forth. And then this is Tox's favorite over here. Hi, Rue. Anyways, yeah, kids, just block out that part of the screen. Rue has a bad habit of saying things he shouldn't. We got this little line over here, which is going to be our future processing plant. Right now we have our sludge train running off here, so we've got a little sludge boiler. And what's really cool about this little guy here is this little sludge boiler will take all the sludge we dump at it and turn it into a bevy of things, from dirt to clay to sand, heat sand from Natura, a whole bunch of stuff. So it's great, so we can actually utilize stuff. Yeah, we could void pipe it, but again, I like
That's no fun.
utilizing everything. So, last but not least, we currently have a very temp and very bugged solution, which is our. Oh, there's a little such train. Hello, such train. We have our item trains coming through here. So we've got lanes coming in, and there's drop off on this side to unload, and then pick up on this side for specialty things. Right now, all we have set up is charcoal for rue and fertilizer for forestry. It's got problems. It doesn't work well, and quite
Oh.
frankly, it wasn't meant to really be a permanent solution. Um, But we have something
and
better,
it's
which we're
small.
going to show you in a minute. But first things first, we have all these trains coming in, and they all have to know how to get to where. So, Talks,
Yeah.
how do they know how the hell to get to where they need to go?
Originally we had golden tickets set up with trains. The sludge train is still over here, so I'll show you that guy. Um, his golden ticket says forestry. So at the intersection we have it directed. We have a routing table over there that takes forestry off to the forestry side, and Rurik's just goes straight through. But one of the things we found while just hanging around here is for the trains that, like the power train that we have, two of the same color train, we like to be able to see without having to catch up to the locomotive and right-click it and get our cursor over before the locomotive's too far away to see where it's going. So, from a glance, I can see this is Forestry's power train because the secondary color on the rim there is green. So that's the new system we're starting to implement. It's only half implemented right now. It's still routing to the cities by golden tickets, but we plan to, in the future, route it by secondary color. And just so you know, Aurora can miss out on power if it comes. If I look at the routing table here,
Here comes another one.
is it white?
Nope.
Okay, good.
Look at the
I
poo
have
train.
this. The routing table says white any, so the primary color is white, and the secondary color can be anything. It can be white, it can be green, it can be whatever color we're gonna um, uh, set to be Rurik's color. I can't think of the word right now.
Designation
Designate, yeah.
or allocation. Long
Yeah,
story short, we've actually talked, thanks to his brilliance of now
wildcards.
understanding routing tables, we figured out that we can actually utilize color both to identify trains for routing for services as well as trains for routing for designation. And at this point, it makes things a little easier for us because it basically means we can have up 16 different trains that are dedicated to towns and dedicated to services. That may have to change in the future.
Yeah,
Who knows? But at least what it does for us makes things a little easier in that we can say if anybody needs power services, throw a train in a line, paint it white. Secondary color can be whatever designation we give them for their town if they need it. And if people don't need a designation for a town, they can just go ahead and leave it blank. We can say, for example, light gray, the default color, dark gray, whatever it is default no town. It's specialty or whatever. But that way people can put a train on tracks and say it's black. That means it's going to drop off sludge, or it's white. It's going to pick up
yeah.
power. So it makes things a little bit easier for us, and that frees up golden tickets, which allow us to specify
Items.
items. Yep. So for that, Talks, boy, have we been working hard.
Yes, we have. Twice. Somebody crashed the server.
So somebody, Vasty, crashed the server. We had to recover, and unfortunately, we lost some of our work. Luckily, we were able to recover, and luckily, it wasn't too big a deal. But we're gonna be replacing that little broken system back there with a slightly more refined, slightly larger system here. Ta 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 ta! Welcome
It looks
to
so
Item Routing
awesome.
2.0.
I love the way this turned out.
I'm actually very happy with it. I'm glad you like it too, because it was a whole lot of trying to figure things out. Now this was a challenge in itself because we needed to have a lot of space. We wanted to have a good bit of running capacity. So we've got our outbound track here. We've got a couple of bypass tracks. If we need to pull trains off for any reason, we can actually just hit a lever and have them turn off, so we're not chasing trains down trying to catch them. But when trains
That's
come
always fun.
in, they're going to come down this line here. The first split they're going to have is going to be: are you an offloading train or are you a pickup train?
And
So
we're
offloading
planning
trains.
on having a separate service color for for items coming into town and items going out of town.
Yes, thank you. So that way we can actually have trains split off here. If they're just dumping off and come down here, this is going to be the same basic logic, which I'll talk about a little more in depth later. I actually developed some logic for a pseudo round robin for trains, so that all trains get equal chance to get out, so to speak. But drop off trains will come down here. Item pickup trains, just to make things easy. And again, this is still kind of temporary because we don't know what our future is going to be in terms of item transport. But basically, we've set it up so we've got effectively 11 lines worth of space for a specialized train. So we can have a train that's dedicated to charcoal, us to fill
For
forestry for fertilizer, and so on. And these are just going to be very, very simple routing switches with nomenclature for a golden ticket. So again, this because we freed up the golden tickets, um, we can now use them to identify anything. So any item that's in the game, we can be very specific if we want to, or very broad if we need to. So that way, all the trains come down here to these different banks, and they can get filled up or dropped off, and then they're just gonna fall right back around. What I've done to make things easy, again, is they're gonna have 4 lanes here that can round robin back into a single line. And then all these single lines meet up together, and again, just round robin to get back out. So nice big open system, very easy to work with, hopefully. And again, because we've got this nice big long straight tracks, we shouldn't have problems with trains getting derpy on us because we've had trains that somehow managed to go the wrong way on routing tracks and all kinds of crazy things. So uh, it's been an experience, but yeah. So just so you guys know, this place here, like I said, is a little bit difficult to put in 'cause we need to have the space for it. But also, right above us here, this ceiling is 1 block below street level. So we had literally we pushed up as just absolutely as high as we could go. So much so that the temporary system we have in place is actually impeding us from finishing the ceiling. As you can see here, we got a bunch of holes in the ceiling where wiring from the old system is still getting in our way. This wood here is actually the objects that the routing logistics is sitting on. So,
And they
um,
need to sit on something.
and they need some. And then about 2 or so blocks below us is the subway, which I really haven't shown you guys yet. But yeah, we do have a subway system that we're putting in place so people can get around Hubtown more easily. So we really had to kind of slip this in as neatly as possible and still make it look good, make it functional, and that way um, we can get what we need done here. And it just made sense to put this under the data center since that's our main store. So, uh, long story short, this is another big project kind of got added to our plates unintentionally. Um, so that's kind of the big news here. There is one other big piece of news related to trains, and I apologize if you guys are bored of trains. I am too. Trust me.
That's why he handed it off to me.
Yeah, so it's official. I asked Tox if he wanted to take over as being kind of the lead architect of the rail system. I'm still going to be helping him, obviously, and being extra pair of hands. But a lot of things like the coloring system, for example, and how we're doing that, it's now Tox is now the lead architect. So he's the one that actually makes the decisions. I'll lend input, give advice, but at this point, it's pretty much in his hands. So if this train's blowing up everywhere, it's his fault. And it was a very arduous process of making the decision to put Tox in charge. I asked him and he didn't say no, so I basically said no backsies. So
I was considering
congratulations,
saying yes,
Tox.
which says made me scared.
I, I,
Sashi.
I now dubbed the sir in charge of trains.
Did you just chicken slap me?
No, I knighted you. Chicken knighted you. Yeah, so that's pretty much that right now, guys. I am again, my apologies for just being so haphazard with videos. It's been nightmares for both me and Tox. Tox is doing the whole working thing, and I'm doing the whole trying to survive thing.
Yeah. And
But
my arm
he's
still isn't completely fixed either. Just so you know.
so we do have big plans. There's a lot of good stuff that's going to be happening. To give you just a little kind of a preview, I put this building actually right where the data center was a while ago. I may have mentioned one of my other videos, but the cutout for that area was actually this building was actually there, and I decided I didn't want it there, and I actually used redstone in motion and actually picked the entire building up and flew it over here. But um, so I'm likely gonna put a small little slant shack off the back of this. But basically, this area here is gonna be rail fab. So everything related to railcraft, we're gonna automate in this area here. Then be able to tap off our main system, and then out
Okay.
here, um, we can see the line coming from when forestry comes out from Hubtown, comes around. Um, this is going to be kind of a rail yard. This side of it right here that's been flattened out, this is actually going to be rail services. So trains that come in that need to be refueled, recoaled.
Okay.
Um,
Right.
we can even set special routing switches so that if we know a particular train is taken out of service for any reason, we can set a rail switch or I can't remember the name of it now, but there's rails we can actually dump an item into a ticket or a routing table, excuse me, into, so we can actually pull that off for service, things like that. And then on the other side with this big flat, huge area, I'm just gonna put a huge rail yard. It'll be more cosmetic than anything, but you'll see like rows of chest carts and tank carts and so on. Another thing we're going to be putting in service, as I said earlier, is we're going to be having a couple of new cities getting service, or well, let's say locations getting service. So this line right here, I originally put in at a diagonal, and diagonals you really can't do with railcraft because you can't monitor them. That's another story for another day. But I'm running this line straight out, and that's going to go to B's. It's out that way. Still line this as B's, as well as it wraps around the backside of Hubtown, heading south. Basically, going to be a south line out to wherever. So Tox's house or some other city or whatever. And then the Magic City that VSD is setting up, which somehow somewhere around where that importer marker is. So uh, anyways, that's in the works. That's stuff to come. This area that's our little service area for the trains will also have a service tower, and in that tower or building or whatever we decide to do, we're actually going to have a really cool map that's going to show all of the lines. We're going to actually have remote monitors that can show us where the trains are on the tracks. So
And we
I'm
could use
looking
this
forward to
area
that.
to build new trains too, can we?
Yeah, absolutely. That's basically what kind of hence the look of the tracks here. Yeah, this is kind of where trains come in for service and get built and so on.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, that's it for now. We've run a little bit long
Whoops.
here, but it's been so long since we've had a chance to actually um, do a video together that couldn't pass up on the opportunity to kick it with talks here and actually get a chance to do this. So, as always, we do appreciate your time. We do appreciate you joining us. If you have any questions, curiosities, and whatnot, there's the comment section right down below. Even better, leave us a like. Let us know what you're into, what you're not into. If you're sick and tired of trains, give us a thumbs down. I can
Please
take it.
don't.
It's not a big deal. I respect your input. But seriously, guys, the likes certainly do help. So if you give a thumbs up, it helps give us an idea of what's going on and whatnot. And of course, if you haven't already subscribed, hit the little button right below the video here. Subscribe to us and love us and hang out with us every week when we try to derp around and make things right. And the train is still going to screw up. I'm just waiting
Oh
for
yeah,
it.
that's totally gonna screw up. Let's record
There it
this.
goes. Oh,
Yep.
there it
See,
goes. Yep,
that's
it's
why I'm
derping.
tired of this.
It's derping. uh, even better than even the comments in the. Oh wow, that's a
Yeah,
special train.
I'm glad I know that those two events are related now.
If you
I
guys
told
want
Warp earlier
to
I want to put a surveillance
give
system
us
out here.
input as to
Okay.
why our trains are derpy, feel free to stop by the Gaming.com website and talk at us. I definitely encourage people post comments and whatnot there because it's a common place where we all coalesce at for conversation and whatnot. And you can see what our plans are, what's going on in the Minecraft world. So definitely stop by there. And of course, as I said many times before, if you are interested in a modded Minecraft experience and you want to see about if we're a good fit for you, please feel free to sign up on our forums. and apply for the whitelist on our server, and we'll talk and see how things go. Until then, I'm Jester,
I'm toxic.
and we're gonna go fix derpy trains.
I'll fall out around for a while.
Bye.
Bye!